Hi, this is Mrs. Collins, and today I'm going to share some community building activities that you can do with students of all ages. And the first one I'm going to share with you is called Thin Slides. So basically, you would use Google Slides and you would allow students to all have access to the file, and they will be able to edit the file with their name listed on it. And what you could do is have them pick an adjective that best describes them based on the letter of their first name. And so basically, because I go by Mrs. Collins, I use my last name, but students would use the letter of their first name. And then I included a video of myself being courageous when I ended up skydiving. So students can include like a video if they wanted to, or basically they could just share a short blurb as to why that adjective best fits them. Also, students can find an animal that best symbolizes him or her, best symbolizes them, and basically they will explain why they picked that particular animal. Moving along, another favorite that we all use is Two Truths and a Lie. So basically, students will have access again to all of the slides in Google Slides. However, you can divide it up by groups and you can assign that ahead of time. So each person will have their own block. And so basically, what you could do is use this in breakout rooms if you are using Zoom, or if you have the add-on. For example, if you are not familiar, there is an add-on for Google Breakout Rooms for Google Meet. So what you can do is have breakout rooms and the students can take a guess as to which statement is not true. And or you can just do it as an entire class. It's up to you when you are engaged in distance learning. Another way that you can do breakout sessions is you can basically have them engage in Boggle, and you have the opportunity to use this button right here to change. And what you can do is take a screenshot or allow your students to take a screenshot. And when you put them into breakout rooms, you can set a timer so that they have only so much time to actually come up with as many words as possible. Another fun way, especially for English, you could have students in groups. And so just as an example, if you already have students grouped up for certain breakout rooms, then that means that you can have students in a time way, let's just say 3 minutes, and you have a student randomly pick a letter. So once the students say, okay, we're going to go with the letter N, the entire class, and you will say what part of speech you want them to write down as many words as possible beginning with N. So you would say, okay, in your groups, you're going to write down as many nouns as possible that begin with N, or you can use an adjective, or you can use verb, etc. And so you'll try to see who can come up with the most adjectives or nouns or verbs when the groups come back. And then just to check to make sure that whoever says that they, whichever team says that they have the most, they'll call them out and just make sure that they are indeed all adjectives or nouns or verbs. And so you can also do charades using Zoom as well. And so if you are using Zoom, you can send words privately to people, and then they would just act those words out. Outside of charades, another game that you could do is the alphabet game. And you can just use this collectively. You don't actually have to put students into breakout rooms. So the alphabet game, basically, if students say a name, so let's just say, for example, if they say Zac Efron, Efron ends with the letter N as in Nancy. So the next name that someone will need to say that's famous, they would have to say, for example, Nelson Mandela. Because Mandela ends with the letter A, the person who can think of the quickest famous person's name that begins with A, they will go ahead and call out the next name. So for example, Amanda Seals. So that can be a whole lot of fun. And then also, As an entire class, you can have each person build onto a story. So someone can start out by saying once upon a time, and then the person will fill it in. And then from there, the next person. So you'll just keep building a story that has a beginning, middle, and end collectively as a class. And so it's causing students to think fast on their feet. And you can also play Jeopardy as well by using jeopardylabs.com. And so, for example, if you use Jeopardy, you could do Name That Song. And so that's another fun way to build community within the classroom. The last thing I'm going to share is a scavenger hunt. So you can have kids go and look for 3 to 4 things, and whoever comes back the quickest with those particular things, then they would actually go ahead and win for being the first person to come back with those things, and then they would share whatever those things are with the class. I hope this is helpful in helping you to build community, especially with some of us being in a position where we're having to provide instruction and we may not know our students. And so it's very important for us to build community with them and to allow them to become comfortable with us as well as with their peers. And please leave a comment to let me know what you're doing to build community in your classroom. Remember always that as an educator, you are necessary, you matter, and you are the reason for all other professions. If you like this video, please like it, please share with other educators, and because it doesn't cost you a thing, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any new videos.